What you are ready to know about Alpha and Omega. What is up, Alien Army? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. And on this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. So today's topic, we are going to be talking a little bit about the current events occurring right now in the 3D Earth matrix on the material realm plane. So,
buckle the fuck up.
Prepare the batch.
So this is going to be worded obviously very cryptically because
you know the fuck why.
Let's first talk about the things that I channeled in regards to Alpha and Omega. With Alpha and Omega, we know that Alpha is the beginning and Omega is the end. So that's roughly what it translates into. This came through in a whole bunch of
discombobulated messages.
This video might be a little bit all over the place. We are going to be covering a few different topics, but the main category, I suppose, is in regards to the 3D Earth Matrix current events. As I'm filming this, it is October in the year 2021. So right now on the 3D Earth Matrix, what is happening is that no matter if a motherfucker is spiritual or if they're just residing predominantly or all the way in the third dimensional plane, which means basically that their ego is fully intact, ain't not a crack.
Oh snap!
We have everyone lumped in together into what one would refer to as the collective consciousness. So I'm not a particular fan of titles, but just for the sake of ease, we're gonna call it the collective. So no matter where the fuck you are personally on your journey, know that because you are watching a video like this now, we are all in the fucking 3D matrix, no matter if you are participating in the active timeline that is predominantly going on right now or not. So what do I mean by this? I was shown different things, and the first thing that I do want to start is that the two paths that we have is the alphas and we have the omegas. This simply means that there is a choice, there is a crux that is occurring right now in the 3D Earth Matrix, and for everyone, whether they're a 3D resident or not, whether they're 5D and above resident or not, what is happening is that everyone is choosing a path right now. From what I channeled is that the two paths right now, if we want to imagine, you are choosing either Alpha, a beginning, or you are choosing Omega, which is an ending. So an ending can mean a whole multitude of things. There are motherfuckers that are on the end path, which I have identified them myself just from equations that I formulated. So I can get a general sense of who is on the Omega path, and I can get a pretty general sense about who is on the Alpha path, the path of beginnings. And I'm sure you probably observe motherfuckers as well, and you also notate where they are at, okay? Because if you're watching a video like this, you obviously are tuned in and tapped into universal forces and sources. You got third eye wide open, motherfucker. Not everyone around you is going to have that third eye wide open. And what I saw is in regards to these two paths, the Alpha and the Omega, someone such as myself or you or someone who has the eye open, we have already chosen our path. Whatever that means to you. Are there endings or are there beginnings? Think of the Earth's timeline, everything that is occurring right now. You can think of certain things as endings with a more loss type of energy, or you could think of things as beginnings with a little pizzazz, a little kick in your step type of beginning. That's the clarification that I'm going to use. There are two paths and everyone is going to choose a path. Everyone around them is going to choose a path. Some might already have chosen their path, such as my motherfucking self and perhaps you. And you are observing everyone around you do the same thing because that's just what the timeline is right now. Depending on where you are at in your path, path, we will see that individuals that are not meant to be in your path, because we have the two paths, alpha, omega, you are choosing one. You're not straddling the motherfucking crossroads. You're choosing one, or there's going to be an opportunity presented where you will choose one in the moment and it will be right for you. So are you going omega, ending, or are you going alpha, beginning? That's what's going on right now. This just came to me, that TV show, the OA. We could also think of symbology, occult symbolism in that too. I'm always channeling. Shit just pops up sometimes. There are the alphas that are headed this way. There are the omegas that are headed this way. Both of these paths are going to be right for the individual that chose them, but know that there are going to be individuals that you might have around you now that are going to go on a different path than you. Essentially, there are going to be endings for everyone in the collective and beginnings for everyone in the collective, no matter what path you choose. But it's just, these are the two predominant ones that I was shown. And whatever is happening on Earth's timeline right now, know that it is part of the science experiment. That is what the 3D Earth Matrix essentially is. It's just they're monitoring which direction these type of individuals go based on whatever they have going on with them, which direction these individuals are going to go based on whatever they have going on within them. It's just part of the science experiment. But obviously, to those in the Matrix, we're in the video game, so we're choosing the path, but that's really just what it is. It's like they're observing. So there might be certain types of individuals, which I'm sure you could think of, that perhaps drank the Kool-Aid and perhaps didn't. And the individuals that drank the Kool-Aid are going to be on a different path from the individuals that did not drink the Kool-Aid. All right? That's what I saw. And so obviously, if you have these two groups that are perhaps mixing right now, that is going to come to an end because we have the two paths. We have the alphas over here, we have the omegas over here. Neither of these paths is right or wrong. It just depends on the perception of the individual. But know this, know that the two will not mix. The two will not be mixing in the near future, and there are going to be a lot of deaths. That's why I'm saying ending. Death can, you know, that word is kind of heavy. It kind of scare a few motherfuckers. But if you think about it, I'm sure you can think of individuals that are dead to you. They might still physically reside in a vessel, but there's all different type of deaths and endings and things like that that one can think of in terms of the third dimensional plane. So don't be alarmed or saddened by this, because wherever the fuck path you're gonna go, you're gonna end up with the kind that are going to bring about new beginnings and happiness and joy, and they are going to bring abundance no matter what path you choose, the omega or the alpha. Everyone is going to experience someone being dead to them, or someone maybe physically dying. I don't fucking know. I mean, it just depends on where your vibration is at. But know that these two paths are not going to intersect very much longer. So it's like you have to choose a path now, and there are going to be individuals that might seem to drop away from your experience, but you're not gonna miss them. You're not gonna regret the path that you chose, because you see the path that you chose more like-minded individuals who are on your wavelength, no matter if you drank the Kool-Aid or not. Like-minded motherfuckers are sort of grouping together now. So when I'm talking about there might be endings or anything like that, endings can be a lot of different ways, but it's not going to be an ending where it's going to be traumatic, unless obviously one is vibrating at a level where they're in a fear mentality. Then perhaps there might be some trauma associated with the endings that occur in their timeline. But if one is vibrating, which I'm sure you are if you're looking at a video like this, if you are vibrating in a higher dimensional resonance, what's going to happen is that those who fall out of your experience, you're not even going to miss them. You're most likely not even really dealing with them now, and you don't really care. So it's not going to be an ending where it's going to be something that you are going to even perceive as a loss. Everything is cycles, right? The snake fucking eats itself and shit like that, right? So it's like you fell away or had these motherfuckers that are not on the same path as you. They've kind of been falling away for a while now, but it's just now it's going to be more in a sense of completion, like that cycle is done. And then the cycle that you're in, depending if you're in a high love love vibratory state rather than a low fear vibratory state, what's going to happen is that you essentially are going to be more gravitationally drawn to those of like kind. So anyone that you part ways with who is not on your path, there's not going to be a void left in the absence of that individual. And I'm sensing that a lot of you might be picking up on that energy now. There might be some old acquaintances, relatives, friends, co-workers, family members. They might have already gravitated away from you and you don't really notice it because you have all of these new and interesting motherfuckers who are meant to progress along in that new beginning for you on your path. So it's not going to be a loss, because I can tell you, if you are looking at a video like this, you are not in a fear vibration. I mean, some of you might be, but it's not going to be your predominant vibration, because I already set the intention that this is predominantly for those along the path of love. Whichever you choose, you are in a love vibration, but you still have the free will to choose the omega path or the alpha path, but this is for the love vibrational individuals. There are going to be endings that are happening because this is the ending of a cycle. The year 2021 is the year of the ox in the Chinese astrology, and the year of the ox, this was an area where no matter what path you have chosen, no matter what path you might choose, if you haven't chosen, if you haven't decided already, you have stood firm in your conviction that your choice is absolutely the right thing to do. You held steadfast. The ox can go a long distance and he's steadfast and he's firm and he's just there. He's like,
what, motherfucker? I ain't moving, I ain't budging.
You are already solid from the other type of energies that could have potentially tried to influence you to go to this path or to go to that path, but you're like, nope, I know this is the decision for me. So that is 2021, the year of the ox. That's what it is now. Basically, the year that's coming up in January of 2022 is going to be the start of the year of the tiger. And the year of the tiger, if you want to think of the essence of a tiger, the tiger is the largest land cat on earth. Some might think that is the lion, but I looked that shit up before I filmed this, because like I channel, but sometimes I just want to make sure that I have like a, you know, a source. So you can look that up wherever the fuck you want, which is bigger, a lion or a tiger. A tiger is actually, if you want to think of like king of the jungle,
That title would pretty much go to a fucking tiger and not necessarily a lion.
so year of the tiger in the Chinese zodiac, this is someone who is cunning and adept and aware of their surroundings. The tiger,
And you can look this up too.
the tiger actually sits and watches its prey before it pounces. Like, it's watching, okay? It's very, very alert, and it is looking around what is going on, and it decides, should I proceed to move here because the prey doesn't see me watching it? Or if, let's say, the prey notices the tiger will be like, ah, fuck it, it's not worth it, abort mission. The tiger is all about mental agility and strategy, because even though a tiger might be considered an animal, it still has that conscious, I don't know what you call it, that intellect, I guess, to know, like, listen, like, is this a good idea for me to move in on this prey, or should I abort mission and then go over here where the prey hasn't yet seen me? Whereas standing firm physically with the energy of the ox for 2021, which you have already done, now moving into 2022, January 2022, I forget the exact day, but you can look that up if you want. We are going to be moving into the year of the tiger, the progression along in the zodiac sign. So you stood firm, perhaps physically, you stood firm on your path, alpha or the omega, whatever, even though motherfuckers around you are like,
Oh, what do I do? Oh.
motherfuckers are going ape shit around you. You stood firm like the ox. You said, no, I am grounded. I am on my path. It does not matter what is happening around me in the physical. I stand firm on my path. That is what 2021 brought and is bringing, because as I mentioned, we're in October. So if you have not chosen your path yet, know that you will by the time the year of the tiger rolls around, because that's
The shit that I channeled, which is the message that I'm relaying.
and it's going to be a positive one, okay? Just make sure that you keep yourself in the love vibration more than the fear vibration. Sometimes things can get entangled in the fucking 3D, like fear might try to sneak on up, but you've already made your choice choice, or you are going to be making your choice, and the choices always move towards where it fucking feels good.
Wherever the fuck it feels good for you.
Whether the Kool-Aid was drunk and you tipsy off of it and now you looking for a hangover remedy, sassafras. Look into that. Or if you have not drunk the Kool-Aid and you're witnessing motherfuckers drink the Kool-Aid and you're like, I'm the only one here not drunk off of this shit.
Damn.
Know that you are going to be moving and progressing into a timeline where it is going to be more abundant and fruitful for you with your like-minded individuals. And those that drank the Kool-Aid, they're also going to be moving into the timeline with their like-minded individuals. This is just two type of energies here. Everyone, no matter where they're at, they are going to be in congruence with those like them. But if you have not chosen what branch of the path you want to proceed along, now is the time. When January 2022 comes, I'm not someone who really makes predictions like for the collective in like a time frame like that, but roughly I must say this, that 2022 you are going to have to think on your toes. It is about watching and observing all the motherfuckers before you decide if it's worth it for you to have a dalliance with them. That's like the best way I can describe it. So 2022 is going to bring mental agility. You stood firm. All the motherfuckers around you might have stood firm, even though they might not be accompanying you on the path that you choose, but you might have noticed that all the motherfuckers around you have stood firm on their path like the ox, much like you have stood firm on your path like the ox. Now, everyone as a collective in 2022 is going to be in the energy of the tiger. So if we want to think of this movie came to mind, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So I'm just getting Crouching Tiger. The tiger crouches, it waits, it observes, it calculates, it strategizes before it pounces in the physical. It's not just standing firm like an ox. It's like, is this worth it? What do I need to do? So mental agility is key for 2022, no matter what timeline you're on, because as this is a mind matrix, the video game is going to proceed to the next level. So we know as the levels progress, things get a little bit more strategic. You have to kind of feel your way into new situations, feel your way out of new situations. Like you just had to strategize more. Whereas 2021, the year of the ox, was more about I'm firm, I'm confident, this is what I'm about. If you don't like me, see yourself out. Shit like that. The tigers be like, what should I do about this? Like, do I even want to toil with that, or do I want to go over here? And it's more about, I will say this with the year of the tiger, it's about you beneficially might want to watch your surroundings in the physical before formulating an equation or deciding to move forward or not. Whereas the ox was more just like physically standing your ground, the tiger is more of like a cerebral aspect to it. It's all good. That's what I got for you today. I'm Oculus, the alien next door. We will chit chat again soon.